All right. Well, let's jump in. Welcome, HMR community. I'm Coach Sandi, and I am joined by my colleague, my friend, Jennifer, also an HMR coach.
Hi, everybody.
So tonight we are going to be hitting on challenges that we are facing this holiday weekend and getting into some recipes. Boy, we have some great things to share. You guys don't tune out. You'll miss the good recipes. We've got some tips, some tricks to just really help you make it through this weekend, really focusing on what you can do to stay in action with your weight and health. All right. So, one of the things that we wanted to just kind of highlight was, travel. We knew people, would be making this a big weekend for travel. So we weren't too surprised by a new study from AAA that showed more than 47.7 million Americans will travel for the 4th of July holiday. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot. That's a huge amount. So with this being kind of an unusual summer after a year and a half of lockdown, travel, according to AAA, this AAA study is expected to be up 40% from last year.
No surprise.
No surprise at all. We're all itching to get out. But even though we may be traveling, we may be socializing more, we can still stay on track with our weight and health goals. So it is possible, folks.
Yeah. It is possible. I know I'm traveling this weekend. We're going camping. You're going to be on the road too, Sandi. Right. And so definitely make sure you guys are tuning in, because I know a lot of folks are going to be on the road or even just socializing. Even if you're not traveling, going to another destination, you may be going to a cookout or barbecue, something like that. And so make sure you have your pens and your papers ready to go, because we are going to be sharing some delicious recipes. I always love these events, you guys, because I get so many delicious things that are already ready to go. This helps me with my prepping for this weekend, this event. And not only are these strategies and recipes going to be great for you this weekend, but all summer, and really any kind of challenge that you're going to be faced with is going to be really helpful. And so we can still stay on track, even though we're trying to get together and celebrate and enjoy our family members and friends. And originally, I'm sure some of you were aware that we were going to have Test Kitchen on tonight, but we are going to keep you in suspense. They're going to be joining us at a later date. So make sure to stay tuned, because they're going to be joining us in another episode in the future.
Definitely something to look forward to.
It is.
They're always so creative.
So creative.
Jen, let's find out who's with us. Let's see, we've got some of our regulars. Jennifer's here and Susan. We've got Dwayne from Wisconsin and Dara from Idaho and Washington. Lots of folks. Who are you seeing there, Jen?
I'm seeing Sandra. She's definitely tuning in. I love seeing your picture, Sandra, before and after. Just such a big transformation. So fantastic. And we have Annika. And Joy. So welcome, you guys. And make sure when you're popping on to say hello. And if this is your first time tuning in, let us know as well.
All right. Well, also, of course, we have to acknowledge Bob from Rancho Cucamonga. Hello. I also want to say people are already talking about their challenges. Susan has mentioned she's traveling, and we invite you to just comment, put it in the comments, anything you're up against this weekend or in the near future in the summer that we can help with. And as Jen said earlier, get ready, have your pen and paper ready to go and take down some notes, or you can always rewatch the episode too. So lots of folks, let us know when you're here. Let us know your challenges, either with travel or social events this summer, anything you are doing that you think you just need a little bit of extra planning around.
Yeah, and we're also seeing some folks who maybe aren't doing something specifically this weekend, but they have some things coming up. So already getting ahead of the game to be really planning on what you want to do.
Great. Well, keep them coming.
Yep.
we've just brought in that AAA data around travel, and something else to just mention as Jen and I were preparing for this event, we were looking at several polls and surveys where people were asked what activities they were most looking forward to post-pandemic as the country starts to open up.
Mm-hmm.
Across the board, what we found at the top of most of people's lists, most of these surveys, were socializing in some form or fashion around food.
Or drinking. We
saw. Or drinking.
Yeah, eating and drinking were far at the top.
Right? Celebratory things. Going out to restaurants was a big one, right? And of course, travel, as we've mentioned. But something else we noticed, a similarity in these polls and surveys, were things that were at the bottom of the list. These were things like getting back to the gym, going on a healthy diet, or starting a healthy diet, or continuing healthy
diet.
Yeah.
Yep. People weren't looking forward to doing that. Those were not at the top of the list.
But we're here to keep it on your radar.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right. And you may find yourself too, like if you're tuning in the same boat as many Americans, and all of us are getting kind of back to going out restaurants, that you may be really feeling torn, especially if you have joined the HMR program or you're considering joining the HMR program, that, hey, like, should I start this right now? Should I keep up with my healthy routines that I've been doing? And many times when we're faced with a challenge, we can feel defeated already. So if you've already been on this journey and you have something coming up this weekend, then it's super easy to be like, well, that's just impossible. I have to tell you guys, and I know I've already seen some people wishing me luck this weekend. So I am a coach, and as I've been watching the Olympics, I'm reminded that even elite athletes also have coaches. And I have decided to go back into phase 1. So I started Monday with my day 1 Healthy Solutions phase 1. And Monday, my husband texts me saying that he has reserved a campsite. We're going to go camping this weekend, which I had no idea we were doing. So of course, my first thought was, oh, I've only had 1 day in the box. Basically, I can start the next Monday in phase 1. And then I was thinking of all of you. And like, what a hypocrite I would be if I was putting it off and didn't do phase 1 and try to be in the box. So at first I was like, gosh, there's no way. We're not going to be in a cabin. We're tent camping, so no electricity. And so how in the world am I going to meet my minimums and stay in the box? So I also felt defeated when I first got the thought. So if you're feeling like you have no idea where to start or what to do to stay in the box or stay on track, this is the event for you, because we're going to share some of those things. And so if you're feeling stuck, it's okay. Like, it's still possible. And once you start thinking of all the things that you can do, it becomes much more achievable. And then just imagine when you get through these challenges, the next challenge is going to be easier, and the next one's going to be easier. So I know, Sandi, you're going to be focusing on phase 2 because you're in phase 2. And I, for this holiday, and probably many more coming up, will be working to be in the box. And I've already committed to my class on Tuesday that was my goal. So I will not go out of the box this weekend.
You heard it here, folks.
Yep, heard it here. And
I'll let you guys know. A lot of people.
I have a lot of people.
A lot of accountability.
Well, so, yeah. Go ahead and let's dive in and talk about some of those things. Are people sharing their challenges?
Yeah, in fact, there are some challenges coming up. Veronica's shared a 7-day cruise that's coming up. Annie is here wanting to know how to avoid food temptations on the 4th of July. And, I don't know if you're seeing any others, but Sandra's already proposed a solution. Instead of meeting with friends and family around food, propose going for a walk together instead.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I also saw someone asking about decision-free mocktails, which we're actually going to get into. I have a mocktail. It's not necessarily decision-free, but we're going to be getting into some of those. This is just a sparkling raspberry iced water. And I just put some cherries in it. So you could leave out the cherries, or I guess if you're in decision free, just don't eat the cherries to have. But we are going to be getting into some mocktails and also share a document. And Miss Sandy, what are you drinking?
Oh, well, let me show you.
Fancy glass.
This is Healthy Solutions Phase 2. And of course, I had to put it in my little tiki glass, right?
I
That's
see it, the little
fun.
nose and the eyes, so cute.
But it is Crystal Light lemonade, like 16 ounces, and frozen watermelon chunks, a cup of those, and then 1 serving of vanilla shake powder. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's my go-to summer smoothie. I love it.
Yes. So
Definitely
we're going to
bring it in.
be sharing more here in a little bit of some of the mocktails that you can do. And we're going to have decision free. We're also going to have healthy solutions, and we will include that post from last year, actually last May, in the comments, or actually in the, you'll be able to find it with the mocktails.
Great.
All right. And so with camping this weekend, I know, Sandy, we've been talking a lot about this, and you really helps me out, because I was just thinking, how in the world with camping in a tent, like, what am I going to do? So my biggest concern, and you guys can comment too, of what you're most worried about, was how was I going to do the shakes? And also my fruits and vegetables. I knew the entrees, I had some strategies around the entrees, which if you guys have more, definitely put them in the comments, but they're awesome just in tinfoil. So my go-to for the grill is going to be putting the entrees and heating them up on tinfoil and just eating it out of the tinfoil. Or of course, a lot of them are good at room temperature. And we batch recipes. So making a lot of things that can stay in the cooler that are cold. So we're going to share some of our recipes with that too. So and those are some things that I'm already thinking about.
Well, you've already actually done some of your prep too. So I'm pretty impressed with that. Yeah, and we'll get into more ideas. But again, keep in mind what we're sharing doesn't have to, fit into the box of what Jen and I are, have done for certain situations. You really can use a lot of these recipes and strategies for all kinds of situations. So be open to thinking about, okay, what can I take and do and, plug into my challenging times this weekend and beyond into the summer.
Yeah, and write them down, because maybe they're not going to be helpful this weekend, but you can always pull it out. And someone's already asking to have you repeat your watermelon shake.
Yes,
please.
I need to show it too. It is separating. I do have to stir it, because usually I'm gulping a shake down as soon as I make it. But yeah, so about 12 to 16 ounces of lemonade, Crystal Light. You can use pink lemonade, raspberry lemonade, yellow lemonade. I just put the Crystal Light powder in the water, and then I add a scoop of shake or a packet of vanilla shake, whatever you have, and then a cup of chunks of frozen watermelon. So you have to freeze the watermelon ahead of time. If you don't, it can get a little foamy. So fresh watermelon doesn't always work so well. If it starts to separate, just give it a good stir. Yep.
Okay. And so do you put any other ice in there, or just the frozen watermelon?
Frozen watermelon keeps it really cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully you guys will try that out. And if you're on decision free, you could just use some sort of a watermelon flavor. I know True Lemon and True Lime, they have a watermelon like flavor for your water that you can put in with your Crystal Light. So a lot of these, you can definitely think outside and see what you can do to get the same flavors, but for decision free. And I know, Sandy, you've already talked about your traveling on the road and kind of how you kind of start thinking of what you need to do while you're on the road. So what has got you?
I've been thinking about it well ahead of, I'm leaving tomorrow morning, and I'll be on the road for 4 or 5 hours, and we'll be in the car the whole time, probably be in the car longer because a lot of people are leaving town, might be a lot of traffic.
Right.
So leading up to this, I'm in phase 2, but I've still had a couple days in the box, made sure I stayed within my calorie budget last weekend by really keeping good food records. And then tomorrow, actually tonight, the preparation really starts. I'll get everything lined out, what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a double shake to drink in the car on the way there. And then I'm putting an entree with vegetables in a thermos to keep it warm, and that'll be my lunch. So even if my traveling companion wants to stop off, I won't be tempted by some of my favorite high calorie foods that are along the way. And even if I do eat something, that's not an HMR food or fruit or vegetable, at least I won't have eaten, a lot of it, because I'll be filling up on these other low calorie foods.
Right.
I'm cutting up fruit to take with me. I have some great blueberries that I can snack on along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But I also had to think about the trip back. I know
Yes.
it's so easy to like think of one part of your challenge, right? But really, I'm trying to see the whole picture as far as the travel part goes. So on the way back, I know I was talking with you about this, Jen, just trying to bounce this off of you. But one of my go-tos, if I do have to stop, I need to know where I can stop and still get a healthy, low calorie, low fat meal.
Right.
Chipotle is my go-to. Chipotle, I can get cauliflower lime rice. It's nothing but cauliflower, lime, and sodium. That's it. That's all that's in there. It's even in the box.
Right.
I can even have it in the box meal there. I can have my beans and my veggies on that. I stay away from the sour cream and cheese. It just adds too many calories. And so I can just get kind of like a little burrito bowl there and be just fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and you also mentioned they have like the shredded chicken. So if you're in phase 2, you could put in the shredded chicken. So there are things that if you think ahead of time, you can kind of plan what you can have instead of just playing it by ear. Because I don't know about you guys, I don't do very well just kind of seeing how it goes. It doesn't always go well for me.
Yeah. If I don't have a plan, I'm not in control.
No. And so if you guys are traveling on the road, really be thinking about if you're decision free, like what are some of your strategies you heard Sandi talking about taking a shake with her, having a thermos. I know one thing that I tell folks all the time is that if you're on the road, every gas station has a microwave and you can always go in there and heat up your entree and get like a Diet Coke or a water or sparkling water, and then you have your entree. And so those are some other tips for the road.
Those are great.
And yeah, so it's like when you really start kind of getting into it, you can realize, oh my gosh, all the possibilities. I can actually do this and stay in the box. I know also one thing when I went on vacation several weeks ago that we did that you mentioned you were going to do this time was stop by a grocery store before. Like as soon as we were on our way into the cabin to stay in the houseboat, we stopped at a grocery store. I was in phase 2 then at that point, and we got fruits and vegetables. We got lean proteins and things to put on the grill. And I know you talked about how that was going to be one of your stops this weekend was before you got where you were going to stop at the grocery store.
Exactly. Having those conversations too, because I'm going to be staying with family, and just making sure that we've got some, good veggies and fruits to munch on that are already there. And of course, adding to it with what I pick up at the grocery store. So yeah, definitely in my plans. Something else you mentioned when, thinking about being on the road, it's really smart to have a bag of extra things. You may need some extra things if you're out and about, even if you're home, just out of your normal routine and you're away from home more, you're in your car. Maybe think of having what one of my clients calls a go bag. It might have a couple packets of 70 plus pudding, a cup, a bottle of water, a spoon. You can at least make a pudding. Some entrees that you can eat room temp, and maybe some pop top veggies and fruits for those in phase 1 healthy solutions or phase 2.
Right. So, yeah. Health coach. I know Coach Kate is in the comments and she's sharing some things that she's doing. She does take the 70 plus, makes it in a packet in the
Yeah.
packet when she's on the go, and even getting hot water and adding the cereal, which it will kind of keep growing with the hot water, and also putting soup in hot water. You can have those on the road. I know typically Starbucks will give you some hot water, or even at a gas station, they tend to have hot water for teas and things like that. So great tips coming in. And thank you guys for saying hello. I know Dara shares, loving these ideas. So lots of great tips for not only this weekend, but for any challenge you're going to be facing this week. And what it comes down to is really planning and thinking about it. So kind of the what ifs, and doing it beforehand, and any conversations that you may have to make or have before you go.
Yeah. Sandra's adding in, I normally travel with shakes, lunch of an entree, and veggies in a thermos. Sounds like me. Hey, Sandra's unite. Take another frozen shake in a thermos. There's a tip. Take a frozen shake in a thermos, grapes for afternoon snack, a couple bars just in case you get hungry, a cooler with refrigerator veggies and fruits to have in the hotel. So many of these things translate into things you can do in a hotel. And on that cruise, I could imagine you could sneak on some 70 plus puddings and some cereals that you could make in your room with hot water with the cereal and cold water with the puddings.
Absolutely.
And really fill up on veggies and fruits.
Yeah, and Heidi's mentioning something that I haven't really thought of. So she freezes bananas, so I'm sure out of the peel in wax paper, and then you can cut them up in frozen watermelon to take along with you. So those would be some nice snacks to have, very refreshing.
Yeah.
And Dana, hi Dana, she cooks her cereal with her apples and cinnamon and some sugar-free maple syrups, and she puts it in a thermos to take with. So yeah, not only the entrees can go in a thermos, your cereal, your shakes can also go in a thermos. So lots of things can go in those thermoses.
Right. And again, we're focusing in on things we can do. There's a million things we can probably think of that we can't do, right? That if we want to really keep up our health behaviors and manage our weight well. But focusing on what we can do and creating a list of those things that we really want to commit to, that's what we're doing tonight. That's what we want to focus on. If you're just joining us and you missed the beginning, don't worry. You can rewatch this. It'll be on our Facebook page. And I know somebody did ask that in the comments.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
Yeah. So yes, of course, you can always go back and watch it from the beginning. And again, let us know what you're up against. And we are going to get into some recipes in a moment. And so if you've already thought through or have something in mind that you know you're going to be enjoying this holiday weekend, please get it in the comments. We want you to share as well as alongside us, because we'll be sharing some of our ideas and recipes here as well.
Yes.
All right. Should we get into some recipes, guys?
Let's get
more
into
recipes. I know we've been talking about.
Yes. Let's get into our favorite part. And so when you think about if you go to somewhere social or a cookout or just a get together, typically the first thing and most people are worried about are the adult beverages.
Oh yeah.
Or having a fun cocktail, right? And I know someone has already asked about it, and we talked, I mean, that comes first. And so we have your shake, and I already shared my raspberry. Again, I'm in the box, I'm in phase 1. Sandy's coming from the perspective of someone who's in phase 2, but this is just a sparkling iced water with cherries in there. And that's what it is. And let me go ahead and share my screen, because we have some other kind of mocktails that we've created for you guys. And of course, we're going to have this in the comments. And so let me share my screen, and Sandy, you can let me know if you can see it.
I will.
You see it?
Looks good. I can see the top half.
Okay, so we'll just go through some of these. These are a watermelon. We have frozen peach shake, a diet cherry limeade, And so again, these are going to be in the comments, but if you're seeing something that you like, you can of course jot it down. But majority of these are decision free, or some have fruits in them. And
Yeah,
I
see my shake on there, only it's a little different. I add a lot more water because I like a lot of volume, but yeah.
All right. So several of you are wanting to know what Sandi was doing for hers, and this is the watermelon blast. Is that the one that's?
It's similar. I do more water because I
Okay.
add the Crystal Light, and it just packs a lot of flavor there. So I like to pump up the volume with a lot more water than that, but you could certainly do that.
Yep. Yep. And so lots of great things to be thinking about. Pina colada smoothie, if you guys are wanting something that's more of a seasonal pina colada. So many different things that we could do. And so again, these are going to be in the comments for you. So make sure you reference back. But again, where there's a will, there's a way. And so hopefully you guys, if you're thinking of some fun drinks that you like, make sure to put them in the comments. And I think it makes a difference if you get a fun glass.
Oh, yes.
It makes a difference if you get a fun glass, or you get an umbrella and put it in there.
Or,
and honestly, wait. Your 4th of July. You can put that in there. And honestly, I know most people are like, everybody's going to ask me, what am I drinking? What am I drinking? Well, if you already have something in your hand and you're working in phase 1, I don't think anyone's going to know any difference, really, if you have something that's fun. Yeah.
I would totally think you're having a glass of wine there, Jen, in your hand. Right?
I know. Yeah.
So,
I think I think this is one of my husband's glasses. I don't know exactly what specific drink it's supposed to have, but
I think it's a highball.
A highball. Okay. I was
no.
thinking
that? Or whiskey glass?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, so, but it does, you would think.
Low ball, maybe. Hey, it works.
That it is. Yeah.
I'm going to be showing something I made and put it in I think it's a wine glass. Or it could be, I'm not sure what kind of glass. I'm gonna keep you guys in suspense.
Yes, I know. I have another thing in a wine glass too. So yeah, anything that looks fun and festive. Yes. When you're trying to be in the box or do something different, you don't have to like, I'm eating out of this black tray. Make it fun. Get it out on the plate.
Yeah.
And so let's see here. What are some of our other favorite cookouts recipes? I know, which we're going to get into basically your menu for this weekend potential. We have lots of different things, and we were talking about side dishes or appetizers. And I have a fruit salad that I make.
Yep.
That is absolutely delicious. And it's grapes, pineapple, honeydew, cantaloupe. And you could really put anything that's seasonal in it. And what I do also is I put like a cup of water, and I do the zest of an orange and some lime juice, and probably like 1/4 of a cup of stevia, and boil that in, melt it, and then put it all over it. I mean, as you can imagine, I have a huge thing of fruit salad. So thankfully that's going with me camping this weekend, completely in the box, but just really delicious. And I mean, fruit salad's nice and cold. We want those cold salads, especially on a summer holiday.
Exactly. Now you also had one, and I'm going to actually show it where to find it on my screen here. You want to talk about your cold veggie pasta salad? Yes.
Well, this one is, which we can post it too. It's most people may know this as a fiesta salad. And so Sandy's going to show on our website too, but this is super easy. Another healthy solutions. It has 1 cucumber, 1/4 of a purple onion, 2 cans of diced tomatoes, a can of black beans, a can of corn, 2 bell peppers. So you can pick whichever colors you want. And then a 1/2 cup, or you can do some different like lime juice, but you can use some fat-free Italian dressing. And as just like the fruit salad and the fiesta salad, it gets better and better like the next day. So when you
Yes.
make these huge batches, and I have to tell you guys, I'll have to take pictures of my bowls that I made. So this is like not even putting a hole in the amount that I made. And this is a 2-cup bowl. And
Wow.
so what I have in the refrigerator is just a ton that's going to last me this weekend. So I'm already prepping today and for our event for this weekend. So I'll take pictures and show you guys of all the food I'm taking camping. But Sandi,
Yeah.
can you walk us through what you're doing?
Sure. So definitely, part of kind of the tradition, I think, for 4th of July are to have some cold salads around. And so
Mhm.
often we think we've got to have that mayonnaise laden potato
Yeah.
salad or macaroni salad, right? Gosh, those are
Mhm.
loaded with calories and fat. But we
Yeah.
do have options that are so much more nutritious, just as filling, if not more filling, and they're guilt-free. That's what I
Mhm.
like. So just like the
Yeah.
one you showed, you could certainly use that even if you're in phase 2. And I'm thinking of our decision-free friends, having an option. I'm looking at the menu or the recipe here that you just shared. You could totally take that pasta fagioli, add in the balsamic vinegar,
Mhm.
add some Italian herbs, let it chill,
Yeah,
and
and leave the veggies out.
leave the veggies out,
Yeah.
and that could be really, even a little bit of garlic in there would be, I think, really good. I don't know. That's
Mhm.
just me.
And making like a double batch of that, so
Yes.
you can get like it. I bet
Mhm.
that would be delicious too
Yeah,
for decision free.
exactly. I did want to share on my screen a cold and crunchy vegetable salad. And don't let the title fool you. It does have pasta in it, but this is phase 2. All
Mhm.
right. This is for our phase 2 folks. It's just as this description says, 85 calories a cup. And it has lots of veggies, bell pepper, both green and red. It has celery, carrots, onion, a couple kinds of onions, some corn, broccoli. This is making a lot. You can read the recipe, 2 cups
Mhm.
of so many of these veggies, and then 4 ounces, just 4 ounces. So we're really heavy on the veggies, light on the pasta, 4 ounces of spiral pasta or whole wheat. I go for the whole wheat. You can also use
Mhm.
couscous or quinoa. And then 5 tablespoons of non-fat mayonnaise or non-fat plain Greek yogurt for that entire recipe. You can even get
Mhm.
creative with guacamole or hummus,
Yep.
and make that for a crowd, and you
Mhm.
wouldn't have any, problems. I would probably just say, measure it out, make sure you're not overdoing it on the pasta. Um,
Mhm.
and so, yeah, one thing I did want to do before we move off of salads is ask people, what are your go-to cold salads for healthy solutions, decision free, phase 2? Get them in the comments.
Mhm.
And Jen, you can be checking that if you want. And I thought, while we're giving folks a chance to put those in there, how about a little tutorial on how to find recipes on our website? This is a little rabbit trail we're just going to take real quick. If
No,
you're with us, and
it's
yeah,
amazing. Sometimes when I share a recipe, everyone's like, "Where is that?" And
yes,
I think so many times we just forget that the recipe book is an option. We have
yeah,
these great resources on our website that you can
yep.
go to. So yeah,
Mhm.
it can be very helpful.
All right, I'm going to show you guys. So you go to our website, hmrprogram.com.
Mm-hmm.
And right here it says support. At the top, you got how it works, success stories, and support. If you just take your mouse and you hover over support or you click on it, you get 3 options. One of them's recipes. So you click on
Mm-hmm.
recipes. And what's really great is you can filter. If you want decision-free recipes, you click on that. Healthy solutions. You're looking for proteins and grains if you're in phase 2, or you just
Mm-hmm.
want to see all the phase 2 recipes. So let's choose healthy solutions. And I really don't know what to do with that mushroom risotto. So I'm just going to start typing, and you'll
Mm-hmm.
see how the options start popping up. And so you can just scroll down. Oh, I heard about those stuffed baby Bellas, and click on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll bring up the recipe. So you can filter that way. And I also wanted to show one more thing before we move off of this and check what people are putting in the comments. Let's say I'm in phase 2. I'm going to click on phase 2, and I can actually go down here and click show filter, and oops, it keeps disappearing on me. I want to show recipes with lean proteins. I can click on that, and entrees. Oh, not entrees, fruits and vegetables. And then I can apply that, and then I'll get some things down below that I can look at. So I just wanted to show some features of our site that I think are some features that are super helpful if you are looking for some ideas, some new ideas.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and also too, just make sure like use this time or even your group. I know this past week and Tuesday, I know Coach Kate, she actually was running for Rick. This past week, I was on the website. I was like thinking about my grocery list. And that's another thing that's really nice about the coaching sessions. You're taking time because otherwise, like I wouldn't have time until I was about to go to really think about what I was doing. And Pam, she was sharing one about how about 4 or 5 chicken barbecue entrees with onions, peppers, added in a little sugar-free barbecue sauce and spices, cut up chicken from entrees and put in the crock pot. Yeah, that would be another great one.
Absolutely.
Bob says he needs to go down that rabbit hole. So he was happy we went down the rabbit hole. And yes, so even for decision-free phase 1, there are recipes on the website, taking the path that Sandi just went down.
Right. Oh, well, we're getting lots of good ideas here. Somebody talking about a red, white, and blue fruit salad. I imagine that could be like pears, blueberries, and strawberries, I suppose. Or get creative with whatever your choices are. That could
your
be
red,
fun.
white, and blue, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so any other, make sure you guys are commenting, liking if there's something that you're liking. And so decision free, Susan's asking, that is our in-clinic option, one of our diet options for being in a clinic, and it's using only the meal replacement. So it's no decisions, just shakes and entrees, or just all shakes. So thank you, Jennifer, for commenting on that. And so lots of things already. I hope you guys, if there's something that's sounding appealing to you that you're like, I'm going to try it this weekend, even if you have nothing going on, having a fun recipe can be nice. Make sure you let us know if you're going to try something.
Yeah.
Are we ready to move on to, oh, go ahead.
I think so. No, but feel free to read your the other viewers' comments. Pam's talking about a bean salad. And somebody mentioned, I think it was Coach Kate, putting mint on fruit. I like mint on watermelon. Oh my gosh, it's delicious. Chopped mint.
It
so
is
good.
So moving on to,
go ahead.
Oh. Well, thinking about like the main dish and what most people are doing these days, especially this weekend, is grilling. So in that kind of in the season of grilling, you typically have hamburgers and things like that. So what I've made for us, and I'll put my side item over. I actually got this recipe from you, Sandi. I've seen it in our Facebook community, but since I'm going to be in need of some things this weekend, since I'm going to be traveling and camping and in the box, I made some.
There we go.
Hi, can you see them?
Oh, yeah, those look good.
So this is with the turkey chili entree and the dry packet of cereal. So mixed it together. And I actually did, I put them on the stovetop and just kind of sauteed them in the skillet with some non-fat spray. You could put it on the grill, you could put it in the air fryer. And so decision free, of course, pasta fragiole. So we have a in the box decision free 4th of July hamburger, HMR in the box hamburger with your side item dish. So that is for decision free and super easy. Basically, yep.
Jennifer says bean burgers. Woohoo!
Bean burgers. Yes.
Absolutely. They're good.
I actually have not, I'm going to dive in after this. So I'm going to have to make some more for my trip this weekend, but also for healthy solutions, we can have the same, but I know you talked about having like your like a burrito bowl or a hamburger bowl. In
Mhm.
healthy solutions, you can absolutely do your turkey chili hamburger patty with all your fixins. So we have lettuce, tomato, and onions. So you
Mhm.
basically have your hamburger, but it's in the box, healthy solutions. And of course, you have your condiments, ketchup, and mustard.
Love it.
So definitely you can still grill, whether you're hosting or you're going, you can take this with you and have that alongside. And
Mhm. Yeah,
there you go. And you
I
have
love it.
some phase 2 options.
I do. I do. We always have, when we're grilling, we always have several options, but there's always shrimp on the grill. And as I was getting ready to make this, I actually buy shrimp, frozen shrimp, because it's easy, large frozen shrimp in the bag. And I was reading the nutrition. Would you believe you can eat 13 shrimp for 60 calories?
13.
13. And there's
Wow,
1 gram of,
6.
yeah, for 13. So let me just show you here what, let me get this close to my camera. So this is 2 skewers I made up of shrimp. This is just 12 shrimp. That's all I fit on this, but I doubled up. These are 2, 2, 2. So there's 6 shrimp on each skewer. I just added some red pepper and pineapple and added some spices. And so I can throw these on the grill. And 60, actually under 60 calories, because I didn't use 13 shrimp, I only used 12. 60 calories for a protein. There's very few proteins you can find, lean proteins for that low of calories. You're getting 13 grams of protein.
Yeah, and that's a great tip.
Yeah, you eat twice this amount, really.
Right. And yeah, so if you're in phase 2, make a note. And I know that getting frozen is really nice option, because then you don't have to worry about it going bad or using it. So the frozen option. So pretty. And did you have another example?
I have 2 more. Can I share 2 more?
Of course. Of course.
So my phase 2 folks, this is really a yummy burger. It's a chili lime chicken burger. I get these at Trader Joe's, 150 calories per burger. And they can be eaten over a salad. If you're using buns, that's fine. I choose whole wheat because I feel like I'm getting better nutrition that way.
Right.
You can also grill a couple of portobello mushrooms and put the patty in between, or put Jen, that's a great option for your bean burgers too.
I know. Yeah. Let me show you guys again. So if you're just joining us, we're sharing some of our favorite kind of menu items that we've already thought about for this week, this weekend holiday. And so this is the turkey chili with cereal. And this is all the fixins with your basically lettuce, tomato, and onion. And then you can do just the basically hamburger patties that are decision free, because they are only the cereal and a turkey chili. So those would absolutely be in the box if you're on meal replacement only.
Yeah.
And we're getting Pam and Carolyn, thank you guys for sharing. So I hope you guys are doing some of your planning for this weekend, because you can get it all done today. And as you're thinking.
Yeah. So great. Can I share one more thing? This is something actually Coach Rick told me about, and I got this at Costco. These are salmon burgers, Alaskan salmon burgers, 170 calories for 1 patty. And they are, just extremely handy to just have in my freezer, throw them on the grill, and, I'd eat them just like any other patty. So Costco, there's 12 in a bag here. You can feed a crew with those.
Yeah, there's so many great options, especially if you go to different grocery stores for lean proteins. And even now with like the cauliflower, right? Like there's a lot of things that you can make into things that you really enjoy that are appropriate for what you're doing on whichever diet option you're doing. So then we've gone through side dishes, some different options. We've gone through the main course. We have our mocktails, and we got to wrap up.
There's a lot of recipes going on in the chat too. So check those out, people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And now we have to wrap up with desserts. And I know Annika, she's on. I think I saw her on earlier. But I have to share her peach cobbler recipe. And we have all kinds of different, even decision free, you can do. So this is her, it just looks so delicious. So this is her peach cobbler.
Yeah.
And then she had made it with an HMR shake. And so let me get back to the description.
Yeah.
Because we can share with you guys the recipe. So let me
That's
get
not mashed potatoes, that's ice cream.
That does kind of look like mashed potatoes. There it is.
It does.
All right. So she tried a new variation of her peach cobbler. And so this is Pluot peach.
Yeah.
And so you can see what she did. 2 cups of defrosted frozen peaches and 4 Pluots sliced. And it goes through everything that she did. And so if you're looking for this recipe, I know, Sandy, you did a show and tell. I'm going to do a show and tell.
Okay.
So if you're in our HMR diet community, at the top, so we have HMR support, and then we have this little magnifying glass. If you put this in the search, you can search peach cobbler and you will get Annika's recipe. But so this was the peach cobbler, but anything, I know we see all the time, like, where's that? Maybe the turkey burger recipe. You can put that in there and find it. So lots of great resources on our website, as well as in our Facebook page that you can really utilize. So using that search function within our group. It's
delicious. We are having that on 4th of July for sure. And that homemade ice cream is simply 1.5 cans of diet cream soda, 2 scoops or 2 packets of vanilla shake, whip that up in your blender and then put it in your ice cream maker if you have an ice cream maker. If you're doing it differently, you can just follow an HMR ice cream recipe and just use the diet cream soda and your vanilla shake and all the other ice that you have to add. So
delicious. I'm getting hungry. I can't wait to eat when I get done.
You
had another. Yes, I was like, you have another option.
Well, we had to bring in a patriotic dessert, right? Okay, here we go. It's my red, white, and blue parfait. It's gorgeous.
It's so pretty.
Yes, it's pretty. And we were talking about using a fancy glass, just really, celebrating the moment, celebrating 4th of July. Let's make it fancy. And so this is a nice little way to do it. I did one in a martini glass the other day. That was cute.
But and so is it just strawberries on top? So
strawberries, and blueberries, and then just vanilla 70 plus pudding. Normally I squirt some very low calorie whipped cream on top, but I figured it would flatten out by the time I got
by the time. Yes, the ready whip. Yeah, so fun and so festive. And that would be perfect also too if you're hosting or if you're going to make some, maybe in some little clear cups to take. And people would love those.
I agree.
And so festive.
It's very nice. I love it. I have already had one this week. Delicious. I use a double vanilla. If you're wondering, how did it make that much? It was 2 70 plus vanillas.
Okay, very good. And so Pam's saying fruit kebabs. Yep, you could do fruit kebabs. Lots of different things that you could be doing for dessert, especially with the cereal, the 70 plus, the different shakes and your fruit. So lots of different options. So hopefully you guys are wrapping up your menus for the 4th of July holiday. And now you're feeling more confident that you can actually stay in the box, because I love that I got most of my prep done already. I had my fiesta salad done. I had my fruit salad done. I had my patties, but they may be done. I may eat them tonight. And so I'm going to have to make some more. But lots of things already done. And so as we're kind of coming to an end, we want to talk about some additional strategies to help you to get through a challenging holiday weekend to really be considering. So, you almost want to start days before, thinking about it, maybe even the week before, confronting the challenge instead of feeling like you're stuck. Like there's no way I can stay in the box. Start thinking about what can I do? And believe it or not, you're going to have a lot of different options that come to play, that you can do to stay on. And
Yeah.
so some additional strategies, we were talking about making sure you go full and satisfied. So if you know the time of the cookout, making sure you have something ahead of time that you can stay satisfied. What other tips do you have, Sandi?
Yeah, I think of, if you've got an event, let's say Sunday or Monday, or even Saturday, what can you do tomorrow to make sure you're building your momentum? If you're in phase one, really commit to being 100% in the box, really kind of get
So
that momentum built up so that it kind of propels you into staying on track for those more challenging times. Phase two, maybe have some high PA days leading up to an event, some lower calorie eating days. That's something that I try to do most times. But as far as, the day of, starting your day with PA is certainly a go-to for me. It kind of sets the tone for the day for sure. And going full to an event.
And you have to repeat this. I want to repeat, we can't say it enough. When you make your mind up that you're committed to staying in the box, that's really the biggest step, because when you're faced with a challenge, you're not going to be in decision anxiety because you've already decided, like, I'm going to be in the box. If you're at all waffling, it's so hard to stay because you haven't decided. So that I think is a huge thing that you guys can do for yourselves, is go ahead and decide and commit to what you're going to do. And I think every time I get hung up, it's not before and it's not during the challenge. It is after. It's the after. Maybe you're there longer than what you expected, or the leftovers stay there, or maybe people are giving you things to take home, or you're just so famished. And so really thinking about after. So what are you going to do with the leftovers if you're hosting? So make sure you send them out. I've told folks to go ahead and go to like Sam's or Costco and get like the to-go styrofoam things, to go ahead and just fill them up for their guests and send everything out so that they don't have any leftovers, or refusing leftovers to take home if you're not hosting.
I'm all about having a go-to food that's supportive. So for phase one, you might have a pudding waiting in your fridge when you get home from an event. I did that the other day. It made a huge difference. Got home from a ball game. I was really hungry. And it was 10:30 at night. And I'm like, well, there is a pudding in my fridge. I ate that and I went to sleep without any guilt. So it was really helpful just to have that waiting. I also think of, let's say you're in phase one and it didn't go as planned. Maybe you were out of the box. You don't want that to become a slippery slope. Get right back in, have a shake, have an entree, get back in action with a to-do behavior, a positive behavior, and just, go forward. Stop that slippery slope right away.
Turn it around, because there's no better way to get back on it than to get on it and, let it go. Like if you did have a slip, let it go, brush it off, and keep moving on. That's right.
Pam saying after the event, nothing stays. It goes out of my house. Love it. So many great strategies I'm noticing in the feed here. Shake day up until event day of. Shake day up. Maybe
do more shakes.
Maybe. High veggie fruits on the day of the holiday weekend. So lots of great ideas. Read through them. I know we're running out of time, but chances are you have more time to read through what others have said. But I really feel like, the theme of today was what's possible, what can you do as we are facing not only this holiday weekend, but the rest of the summer and all the socializing and travel that we are all facing. So go into this weekend with what's in front of us this weekend with the mindset of what can I do? And you're just going to be in a better position to stay on track and to really enjoy the holiday. You won't be going through those mental gymnastics of, oh my gosh, you know, all these decisions. You will have made your decisions beforehand.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, and feel
So,
good. And so as we're wrapping up, we definitely want to hear, anything that you have committed to because of this episode. Because I've already committed to all of you, even my phase one group on Tuesday, that I am going to be in the box this weekend. And I'm preparing. And so I'm committed to check in with you guys and let you know that I will be in the box my first weekend back in phase one. And accountability helps. So anything that you want to commit to that you are absolutely making a non-negotiable, make sure to do it put it in the comments.
Absolutely.
And yeah, go ahead.
I was going to mention, and good luck this weekend too. I know you're going to do great.
Thank you. You too.
This summer we're doing our live events every other Thursday, but we will rerun a previous event next Thursday. Did I say Wednesday? Next Thursday.
I don't know.
Sorry if I did. So be sure and pop on the Facebook page, check out what we've posted that would be supportive of you this summer. Continue to share your great recipes and strategies for pulling off a strong weekend, and have a happy 4th of July, everybody.
Yes, and stay safe.
Yes.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you for being with us. Bye-bye.